Ah, so you think you're stuck, huh? You think this is it, huh? You've been running in circles, feeling like your life's just one giant hamster wheel. Every day is the same people, same routine, same old grind. And you've convinced yourself that this is where you'll stay. You've convinced yourself that the chains are too tight to break, that you're locked in your place and there's no escape. But what if I told you, just maybe, there's something else in store? What if I told you that someone is coming to yank you out of that hole, out of that cage? Ooh, embrace the discomfort of change, huh? Sounds fun, right? We all love that warm, cozy feeling of being stuck in a routine, don't we? You know the one, the comforting, suffocating kind where nothing really happens, but hey, at least it's familiar. Change? Nah, that's just chaos wrapped in the illusion of progress. But oh, how we crave it, don't we? We say we want things to change, but deep down, most of us just want things to stay the same, to be comfortable. We tell ourselves, I'll take risks, I'll go for it. But the second something disrupts that little bubble we've created, we panic, we hide, we run, and we beg for the old life back. But here's the kicker. Change is the only thing that's truly constant in this world, and you either adapt or get left behind. So, let's talk about discomfort for a moment. How do you feel when something unexpected happens? Do you embrace it like an old friend, or do you run for cover? Some people thrive in chaos. They see a chance for transformation in every moment of uncertainty. They're like a tornado, destructive, yes, but they leave behind a new world, a world they've created by simply going with the flow of chaos. Others, well, they freeze. The second their bubble is pricked, they start sweating. They start questioning everything. They start wondering if the risk is worth it, if the discomfort is really necessary. They question their worth, their ability, their decision to take that step in the first place. But here's the thing, nothing, and I mean nothing great, comes from comfort. You can't grow in a cocoon. You can't find new strength sitting on the sidelines playing it safe. You've got to step into the unknown, into that terrifying, exhilarating abyss, and let the discomfort take you somewhere you've never been before. But, oh, I see the hesitation. I see the doubts creeping in. The mind starts whispering, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if I get hurt? And those are all valid questions. The fear of failure is the thing that keeps most of us shackled to mediocrity. Fear is comfortable. It's that little voice that tells you to stay where you are because change is scary. And guess what? Fear wants you to stay there in the same old place, feeling the same old way, because that's where it can control you. Fear is like an old friend telling you, stay small, stay safe, stay where you belong. But here's the reality check. Staying in that small, safe space doesn't help you evolve. It's the same old, and you'll be stuck wondering why things aren't moving, why you aren't getting what you want, why life keeps handing you the same damn problems. The truth is, you can't expect to grow if you're not willing to step out of the comfort zone. You have to dive into the discomfort, knowing full well it's going to hurt. But that's exactly where the magic happens. That's where the real change is made. But the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to say goodbye to your bubble of comfort and step into something unpredictable? Because once you do, there's no going back. No one can go through a transformation without leaving something behind. It's part of the process. So let's be honest. It's scary, but so what? Who said being scared means you're not ready? It just means you're human. It means you're about to push past the walls you've built, and for the first time you'll have to actually confront what's inside of you. And guess what? That's where growth starts. Not when things are easy, not when everything is all cozy and soft. You grow when you're pushed, when you're faced with a challenge, when you have no choice but to fight. Because in that fight you find something about yourself you never knew existed. So get comfortable with the discomfort. It's your best friend. It's your teacher, your mentor, your guide. And let's not sugarcoat this. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel like you're walking through fire. There's going to be moments when you want to quit, when you wish you'd never started. You'll feel like throwing in the towel, like it's too much. But in those moments, remember, that's when the change is happening. That's when you're becoming the person you were meant to be, the person who can handle whatever life throws at them. Embrace it. Let it burn, let it sting, because on the other side of that pain is a version of yourself you can't even imagine yet. So, go on, take the leap. You're not going to know how it ends, and maybe that's the point. Because the moment you start looking for guarantees is the moment you've already lost. You want change? You want growth? You want the kind of success you've been dreaming about? Then embrace the discomfort. Let it mold you, let it shape you, and in time you'll see that it was all worth it. Every bit of fear, every ounce of doubt, every second of uncertainty, because you'll be standing on the other side, stronger, better, and more unstoppable than you ever thought possible. Ah, the mind. That beautiful little playground where we let all the madness roam free. Isn't it fascinating? We tell ourselves we want control, that we want clarity, but the truth is, most of us don't have a clue what's going on in our heads. Our thoughts, they're like a circus, and we're all just clowns trying to juggle them. You know what I'm talking about, right? The constant noise, the endless loop of doubt, the ever-growing list of what-ifs. It's all a big, chaotic mess, and we think we can handle it, don't we? We think we can control it, but deep down we know better. Control? It's a lie. The more we try to control it, the more we get tangled up in it. It's like trying to hold on to water. The harder you grip, the faster it slips away. And yet here we are. We're told we should control our minds, our mouths, and our money, as if any of those things were ever really ours to control. Our thoughts? Yeah, sure, we like to pretend we can control them, but let's be real. Half the time, they control us. One minute you're thinking about your goals, your dreams, what you're going to do next, and the next, well, you're in the middle of a panic attack, thinking about everything you've done wrong in the last 5 years. It's like being trapped in a mental maze, always searching for an exit that doesn't exist. The mind doesn't work like a machine. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's always going to throw you off track when you least expect it. Now let's talk about the mouth, the thing that gets us into more trouble than anything else. It's like the brain's megaphone, a loudspeaker for every random thought that passes through. You've got these ideas floating around in your head, some of them half-baked, others just completely off the rails. And your mouth? Oh, your mouth doesn't care. It just blurts things out. And suddenly, you've got regret, you've got misunderstandings, you've got relationships on the rocks, All because you couldn't stop yourself from running your mouth. And why? Because it's easy. It's so easy to say the first thing that comes to your mind, to react to whatever's happening in the moment. But how often does that actually work out for you? How often does speaking without thinking do you any favors? It's like throwing gasoline on a fire and hoping it'll go out. It's not going to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not about being quiet all the time, suppressing every thought that comes to your mind. Oh no. It's about knowing when to speak, knowing when to be silent, and understanding that not every thought deserves a voice. But we don't think that way, do we? We let our emotions hijack our words. We let frustration, anger, jealousy, and fear decide what comes out of our mouths. And once it's out, it's out. No take-backs, no undo button. And the damage, it's done. You can apologize all you want, but words, my friend, are like knives. They cut deep and they leave scars that take a long time to heal. And here comes the big one, money. Money. We all want it, right? We all think that if we just had more of it, everything would be easier, everything would be better. And we try to control it, don't we? We try to budget, to plan, to save. But let's be honest, most of us have no idea what we're doing when it comes to money. We live paycheck to paycheck, hoping for a miracle, a windfall, something to take the edge off. But that's the thing with money. It doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your hopes. It's not your friend. It's just a tool, a means to an end. And yet we let it control us. We let it dictate our happiness, our self-worth, our entire lives. We think that if we have more, we'll finally be happy, we'll finally feel secure. But what happens when you get the money? What happens when you've got it all? Does it solve everything? Does it make you feel at peace? Of course not. It's a vicious cycle. You get more money, but now you need more to feel the same. You buy things you don't need, impress people you don't like, and live a life that isn't yours, all for the sake of something that won't last. Money doesn't make you happy. It makes you distracted. It makes you think you're in control when you're really just being swept along by the current, one wave after another. So here's the kicker. Control is a fantasy, a beautiful, comforting lie that we love to believe. We love to think that if we just try hard enough, if we just focus enough, we can control everything in our lives. But life doesn't work like that. Your mind, your mouth, your money, they're not yours to control. They're wild, untamed beasts, and they're going to do what they want when they want. The only thing you can control is how you respond to them. You can choose how to handle your thoughts, how to choose your words, and how to use your money. But control? True control is a myth. You can't force it, you can't manufacture it. It's about understanding the chaos, learning to live with it, and finding peace in the middle of it. How we love to pretend we've got it all figured out. The world, our minds, our future, it's all neatly packaged in this little bubble that we've convinced ourselves is safe, organized, and under control. But let's be honest here. Control is an illusion. The harder we try to grip it, the faster it slips through our fingers. Take a look around you. Really, take a good look. Everyone's just stumbling through life, doing their best impression of someone who knows what's going on, trying to keep it together. But the truth is messy. The truth is chaos. We want to believe we have control over everything, our choices, our relationships, our outcomes. But guess what? We don't. We're playing a game, and the rules aren't written in our favor. You know that feeling, right? When you think you've nailed it. You've got everything lined up, all your ducks in a row, your plan is solid, your next move is clear, and then bam, life happens. A car breaks down, a phone call you didn't expect, a person who you thought was reliable turns out to be anything but. That's the thing about trying to control everything. You never see the curveballs coming. And when they do, they hit hard. Suddenly all your plans, your perfect life, it feels like it's spinning out of control. And what do you do then? What do you do when all your control slips away, when the world doesn't follow your neat little script? That's where most people fall apart. They can't handle the unpredictability. They crumble under the weight of the unknown. But let me tell you something about control. The more you try to force it, the more it forces back. The more you grip onto your life like it's a fragile glass vase, the more likely it is to shatter. Life is chaos, and the more you try to tame it, the more it reminds you that you're not the one in charge. But it's not all doom and gloom, oh no. There's something liberating in this madness. Something freeing. You know what that is? Letting go. Letting go of the illusion of control. Letting go of the idea that you can bend the universe to your will. It's in those moments when you stop trying so hard, when you let life do what it does, that the real power kicks in. But people don't like to hear that, do they? No, they want answers. They want certainty. They want to know exactly how to navigate every twist and turn. They want the roadmap. They want the plan that guarantees success. And here's the punchline. There is no plan. There is no guarantee. You can't control your way to happiness or success. You can't calculate your way out of pain. So what do when you realize you've been chasing this idea of control and it's been slipping through your fingers the entire time? You laugh. You laugh because you're finally seeing the truth. The truth is, life isn't meant to be controlled. It's meant to be lived. It's meant to be messy, unpredictable, and raw. It's in the chaos that we find the most beautiful moments. Let's talk about those moments when everything feels like it's unraveling. The moments when it all falls apart, when you think you've lost it, when everything seems wrong, when you've got no idea what's coming next. People panic in these moments. They flail around trying to regain control, to put the pieces back together. But what if you didn't have to put everything back together? What if it was okay to leave the pieces scattered for a while? What if the mess was just part of the process, part of the beauty? The truth is, control is overrated. The more you cling to it, the more it holds you back from living authentically, from embracing the full range of human experience. Because here's a secret. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know all the answers. Sometimes the best thing you can do is let go of the need to control. I can see it now, can't you? The fear that creeps in when you think about letting go, the fear of losing your grip, of falling into the unknown. It's terrifying, right? But here's the kicker. It's also the most freeing thing you could ever do. It's like walking up to the edge of a cliff, looking down at the vast expanse of nothingness below and realizing you've been holding on to a lie. The lie that if you just try hard enough, if you just plan enough, you can avoid the fall. But the fall? Oh, the fall is the part that brings the freedom. The fall is the moment when everything else fades away and you finally realize that control is a myth. And letting go is the only real way forward. And so you laugh, don't you? You laugh because you've been chasing the wrong thing. You've been trying to hold on to control, to force your life into this neat little package. But you know now it's all a game, and the more you try to play it, the more you realize the house always wins. So why bother? Let go. Let go of the control, let go of the fear. Let go of the need to have it all figured out. Life is wild, life is unpredictable, and maybe, just maybe, I'll tell you something most people refuse to acknowledge. The world, your life, it's not as shiny as you've been led to believe. No, it's a mess. You've been told that everything will fall into place if you work hard enough, believe enough, try hard enough. But the truth is more twisted, more savage than you want to admit. Everyone's walking around pretending like they've got it all together, smiling, nodding, playing their part in this ridiculous game of appearances. Everyone's got their mask on. They want you to believe they're in control. They want you to believe that they've got their act together. But when the lights go out, when the masks come off, it's just chaos. The truth is this: most people are as lost as you are. They're all just trying to hold on to something they can't quite grasp, scared of what happens when they realize they have no control over anything. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but if I just try hard enough, if I just believe in my dreams hard enough, everything will work out, right? That's what they want you to think. It's the lie they've been feeding us since we were kids. You can do anything. The sky's the limit. They show you the success stories, the rags to riches narratives. But what they don't show you is the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the reality that comes with it. They don't show you the broken parts, the failed attempts, the nights spent staring at the ceiling wondering where it all went wrong. They don't show you how messy the journey really is. And let me tell you something else. No matter how hard you try, you will never, ever be able to control everything. You can try to plan every step, work your ass off, sacrifice everything you've got, but eventually, life has a way of saying, yeah, not so fast. You'll hit a wall, and you won't be able to climb it. You'll get stuck, lost, and when you do, that's when the world comes crashing down. They tell you to keep pushing, to never stop, to keep climbing that ladder. But who's at the top of that ladder, huh? Who's the one watching you scramble, desperately trying to make it to the top? It's not the people who really care about you. They're not there, watching, cheering you on. It's the system. It's the same system that tells you that you're not good enough unless you're constantly pushing, striving, fighting. And what happens when you're exhausted? What happens when you've given everything and you're left with nothing but emptiness and fatigue? That's when you start to ask questions. The real questions. The questions that no one's been brave enough to ask. But that's the thing, isn't it? You keep asking for answers. You keep begging for someone to tell you that it's going to be okay, that everything will make sense in the end. But here's the truth. It won't. Not like you think it will. You can keep looking for the perfect plan, the right move, the magical moment when everything falls into place, but that moment might never come. You might end up realizing, much too late, that the goalposts have moved, and they'll keep moving until you're running in circles. You'll keep running, pushing, clawing, and then one day you'll stop. And when you stop, when you finally look around, that's when you see it. The illusion. We're all just part of the show, playing our roles, doing our best to make it look like we know what we're doing. But what if we're not supposed to have it figured out? What if the chaos is where the magic lies? What if the mess, the struggle, is actually the point? Maybe the point isn't about control, about pushing harder, about winning the game. Maybe the point is realizing that you can't win. You can't control the outcome. You can't control life. And when you stop trying, when you let go of the need to be perfect, when you stop trying to impress everyone, that's when you start to see the real truth. The truth that's been staring you in the face all along. That you were never meant to have it all figured out. You were never meant to play by their rules. The only rule you need to follow is your own. So you're asking yourself, well, what now? You've been working hard, doing everything right, and now suddenly everything feels wrong. The walls are closing in. The weight of the world is pressing on your shoulders, and you don't know where to turn. But maybe that's the point, right? Maybe it's time to stop playing their game. Stop trying to follow the rules. Stop pretending like you have everything under control. Life isn't a game you can win. It's not a race you can finish. So maybe it's time to let it all fall apart, to embrace the chaos and to let it reshape you. Because here's the punchline, my friend. In the end, control is the biggest illusion of all. You think you're holding the reins, but life's always one step ahead, pulling the strings. So why fight it? Why try so hard to hold on when you can let go and let life unfold in all its twisted, unpredictable glory? Oh, you thought you had it all figured out, didn't you? You thought you could control everything. All those plans, all those dreams, everything laid out like a perfect puzzle. But guess what? Life doesn't care about your puzzle. It's messy, unpredictable, and cruelly indifferent to your carefully crafted schemes. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You're so busy trying to control the uncontrollable, so busy making every move like it's your final act, thinking you're the star of the show. But the universe? Oh, it's got other plans, my friend. It loves to watch you squirm, twist and turn, trying to figure it all out. But why? Why go through all that pain? Because deep down you know you need the chaos. You need to feel the squeeze of uncertainty to remind you that you're alive. You're walking through life with a mask, just like everyone else, pretending everything's fine, pretending you've got control over everything, even though, let's be honest, you don't. The truth, you never will. And that's exactly the point. The point is not to win, not to conquer, not to build this perfect little bubble where everything fits just so. No, the point is to lose, to fall, to let go of everything you think you know and just exist in the mess. It's in the mess that you find who you truly are. The chaos is your mirror, reflecting every truth you've been running from. You see, we all have this idea that we need to reach some final destination, some magical place where everything clicks into place and we can finally exhale. But let me tell you, that destination doesn't exist. And even if it did, the journey would have already broken you beyond recognition by the time you got there. But isn't that the fun part? Isn't that the punchline? Life is a sick joke, and you're not meant to get it. It's a loop, a never-ending cycle of ups and downs, twists and turns, and there's no escaping it. But you know what? That's where the magic happens. The most beautiful things aren't made from perfection. They're made from brokenness, from the cracks and the fractures that we're too scared to show. It's so easy to get caught up in the idea of control. We're taught from the moment we're born that we need to be the ones steering the ship, driving the car, controlling the narrative. But what if I told you that's the very thing keeping you from experiencing the full, raw beauty of life? What if you let go of the wheel for a second? What if you allowed yourself to just drift? Imagine the freedom, the rush. You'd stop living in fear of the unknown, and you'd start dancing with it. Life's not about avoiding the chaos, it's about embracing it, using it, molding it into something extraordinary. When you stop trying to make everything neat and tidy, when you stop trying to predict the next step, that's when you start to taste the sweet fruit of true liberation. Don't get me wrong, it's hard. Letting go is the hardest thing in the world. We've been conditioned to believe that we need to have a plan, to always be in control, to make the right choices every time. But let's face it, you don't have to get everything right. In fact, getting it wrong is what makes the whole damn thing worth it. The mistakes, the failures, the moments when you thought you were done for, that's where the growth happens. That's where the magic is. And yeah, it'll hurt. It's supposed to. Because life isn't a fairy tale, and you're not the hero riding off into the sunset with everything all figured out. You're the one stumbling through the dark, getting dirty, making a mess of things. And that's perfect. You're perfect in your mess. So here's the thing. Stop wasting your energy trying to control everything. Stop fighting it. You think you have it all under control, but guess what? You're just one bad move away from falling apart. And when that happens, when it all comes crashing down, it's not the end. It's the beginning of something far more beautiful than you could have imagined. You're not broken, you're being reborn, and the pieces are falling into place in ways you can't even begin to understand yet. What if I told you that the moment you stop trying so damn hard to control it all, everything you've ever wanted will find its way to you? Not in the way you expected, not in the neat little package you've been envisioning, but in a way that will shake you to your core. That's the real beauty of life. It's not about the destination, it's about the ride. It's about the journey through the chaos, the uncertainty, the pain, and the beauty that comes with it. The truth is, you're not meant to have it all together. You're not meant to control everything. You're meant to live, to feel, to breathe through the chaos. That's where the real joy lies.